The worst gay bar of Tabitha Takes Over? Excuse me, bitch? Did y'all know about this? Because if you did and you didn't tell me, I'm gonna be pissed. I thought she just did salons, and then come to find out she's taken over not just a bar, but a gay bar. And she's done it twice. There's 2 episodes of this. Those. You got me so pissed off, I'm bilingual. If you guys enjoyed this episode and you want me to react to the other time she took over a gay bar, let me know, I'll do it. This is refreshing because I love Tabitha. It's basically the same format of Bar Rescue. I really cannot believe I didn't know about this because I've literally debated in the past on whether or not I should do a reaction to Tabitha Takes Over, but she usually does salons, and what the f do I know about salons? I don't know shit about hair. You know how long it took me to do this? I'm like Lisa Rinna, bitch. I'm gonna rock this hairdo for life. And that's why I ultimately didn't do those reaction videos, because when I do these videos, I like to talk about things that I know. That's why I stick to bartending videos, alcohol videos, or reality TV videos. So when I get a chance to do both, I get excited because gay bars? I know gay bars. 2 things I basically have a master's degree in. And alcohol. If I could put it on a resume, I would, but those special skills I save for other occasions. So if you guys know of any other alcohol or bartending shows or content that you would like to see me react to similar to Bar Rescue, let me know in the comments. Even if it's not the same as Bar Rescue, if you would like to see me react to things that are similar, let me know. I'll do it. New things excite me. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it and subscribe for future ones. I put them out weekly because I'm a globally disgraced bartender on the road to redemption. Got me putting on my watch for this one because you know what time it is? It's time to see how Tabitha Takes Over compares to Bar Rescue.
I'm taking over.
Really?
Hold that last thought.
Abby? Why do we have to answer the goddamn phone now?
Hi, who am I speaking to?
Bob.
Bob, this is Tabitha. I would like you to get your keys, get your partners, and come outside and meet me. And please.
See, this is what I'm talking about. No recon. No recon bullshit. I already like it. Because I bitch and complain about the recon, especially when they don't know what they're talking about. And you guys like to yell at me in the comments when I do that. You like to remind me like, oh, Mike, they're not always bartending or alcohol experts. Then what are they doing? What are they there to do? Doing or looking for or trying to point out things that production has instructed them to do? They don't have any other real purpose. It could be any Joe Schmo on the street. Not Tabitha. Tabitha's showing up like, hello, I'm here. Open up.
Oh my God. Oh, I'm so glad you're here. I'm so can't.
Wow.
I can't handle it. I can't handle it.
I haven't.
The drama. The drama. They know the assignment. The gays know to bring the drama. The waterworks started instantly. We're gonna get right into the trauma. We're gonna start talking about how our fathers never loved us right away. Right away. It's one of the bullet points of a gay episode.
Is he coming back?
He will
Because
be. I'll go find him.
Does that happen a lot?
Well, Calvin.
Mom, I'm too stressed. I can't handle this.
We're all very...
I'm too stressed. I can't handle this. Okay, I had to sign the paperwork. I had to get mic'd before we did this. I knew it was happening, but I'm shocked. I wasn't prepared. Zoom in on his face. I want to see tears. I want to see tears because I know it's not real. And if I do see tears, I'm going to be even more impressed.
So I have some things to show you, so come with me.
Okay.
I've had cameras in VIP all day, and now it's time to show the owners what I've seen.
She's had the cameras in there all day, and they're shocked. They're shocked that she's there. The cameras have been in there all day. Didn't know this was happening. I'm sorry.
When we first met, there was no place we could go. Everything is 21 and over. And I would rather have the young adults learning from the older adults. It gives them a little bit more of a base and understanding of the community.
Which is very important. I will always say this. Age shaming in the queer community is the most ridiculous thing I think that queer people can do, because the generations that came before us have lived and fought through things that we can't even fathom. The rights we have today, the spaces we have today, the opportunities we have today are all because of them. And in queer spaces, a lot of the time, they get pushed aside, which is so unfair. Everybody's attention is on the demon twinks, not paying for a single thing, looking down on people and being bitchy and judgy for no reason. And what did they do with their time and their experience? They built new places that we have to not only feel safe, but to learn from them, to continue doing for those that come after us. I commend commend them for this. I think this is amazing.
Personally, we're in debt by $100,000 because we've been taken from Peter to pay Paul, and we're behind almost 6 months on our lease.
How long can you keep doing that?
It's kind of like a ticking time bomb.
It sounds pretty dire.
Survival of the fittest.
You know what's so sad about these old gay pillar communities is that they are dropping like flies. We just saw that with the bar that Trixie tried to help in Milwaukee. This is it. It just closed its doors. The first gay bar that I ever worked at, Boots and Saddles, is gone. There used to not be very many gay bars or queer places where people felt safe. There wasn't so much competition. And yes, the fact that there's more of those spaces is a good thing, but we gotta remember that we are a minority. It's not as easy to fill up these queer spaces the more that there are, especially if there's not something specific that's bringing people in. I mean, every bar has drag. That used to not be common. It's getting harder and harder to find almost a gimmick to bring people in. And that's so sad because these spaces are so important for queer people, not just historically, but for safety, which is why it's so important for everybody to remember to support their local queer businesses.
It's always been Bob's way or the highway. So after a while, I just stopped doing anything.
Dennis doesn't like being there in the evening. He doesn't like dealing with the large crowds and the noise. He would chase the customers out.
Yeah, I tend to be a little bitchy.
You own a f***ing club.
A gay being bitchy? Oh no. I can't talk shit about that. I'm one of the bitchiest bartenders there is. I literally got on TV because I was a bitchy bartender. That's what they asked my managers. They were like, we want to talk to your sassiest bartender. And they're like, oh, you got to talk to Mike. He's a bitch. They were right. I mean, look what I do here on YouTube. I just sit here and bitch. Excuse me for monetizing my skills. I know what I'm good at, okay? At least I know what I'm good at. But I will say it's kind of ridiculous to bitch and complain about large crowds and noise and work in a bar. That's what the job entails. If you don't want to do it, you should not be there because it's not for everyone. And that's okay at the same time.
Do you know what people want? Do you know what's in?
Nope.
In business, you have to always be adapting and changing.
I'm an old man. I'm set in my ways to an extent.
That's an excuse. That's an excuse because she's absolutely right. It's exhausting. I mean, look at here on YouTube. There's a new algorithm every year. They don't even explain what it means. It just changes and they're like, good luck, creators. You gotta constantly try new things, see what works, see what doesn't. And even the things that are currently doing well, that doesn't mean that they're gonna do well down the road. I've tried to pivot several times on this YouTube channel alone. I call this the Madonna effect. You gotta always keep it fresh, keep it new, switch it up. That bitch is how old? And still selling out shows and killing it? That's what I'm talking about. No matter who you are, you gotta change with the times. You can't be so stuck in your ways that it negatively affects you.
Well, he's sitting down there talking to you.
You're the boss.
No, I'm not.
So if you have Lisa, why aren't you letting her do her job then? Is it that Lisa's approach is different from yours? Or is it that she has the wrong approach?
She's different.
So you just like to micromanage. Tell me, how are you?
Which is gonna kill you. You could bring in younger people to try to bring like a fresh atmosphere, but if you don't let them have free reign to run things with their fresh experience, and you demand them to do things your way that have been proven to not be working, then what are they even there for? That's just gonna frustrate them. You literally brought them in for their fresh ideas, their experience, and then you're not letting them do that thing. Of course they're gonna give up.
Take a look at this.
The hungrier I get, the more and more I start acting like an ass. I'm all right with that.
So who is this?
Siren.
Think you could wipe that bar down any slower? Don't ask me for I'm not the bar back, that's this idiot. This is what a clean glass looks like.
I know we have some problems, staff.
I love him. I don't care. I already love him. That's my favorite worker at any gay bar. Every gay bar I've ever worked at has that worker. I've been that worker. But I'm interested to see how they are at their actual job because from my experience, most of the time that person that acts that way is still great at their job at the same time. These queer spaces have a different idea of what being professional is. Like, that's not them being a bitch. That's them being like shady and fun. We actually like that. Am I wrong? Is that just me? Let me know in the comments.
Cheers, l'chaim. If you're keeping track, this is my first one.
That's your first one. I'm a virgin.
I had 4 tonight.
Yeah, I'd add a few.
Well, don't ask me. I didn't count them.
Let's keep watching.
Listen, the older queer owners of these bars, when they get to a certain age, the younger staff is there to like take over and run things. And they do just kind of like sit at the end of the bar and get drunk. That's what they do. Is it right? No. But is it common? Yes.
So you're essentially doing 2 things. You're drinking away your profits. And what kind of tone does that set for your staff?
They're just used to it, so it's maybe not a good tone.
How do you expect your staff to take their job seriously when this is the example that you're setting for them?
What have I said in every single bar rescue video discussing management? You set the tone for what is acceptable and what is not. If you're over there getting wasted and acting a fool, and then you try to reprimand me for acting any type of way, I'm gonna look at you like you got two heads. Especially when they're promoting it. They'll be making shots for us or telling us to pour shots for ourselves and them. So like, you can't yell at us for drinking when you're telling us to drink. That's hypocritical. Like, what are we supposed to do in that situation? I do think that bartenders should be allowed to drink to an extent. Obviously, don't overdo it. But if you're gonna be a place that doesn't allow your staff to drink, you can't be sitting there getting drunk yourself.
Monitor Dennis's drinks and monitor Cal's drinks. I don't need either one of them falling down drunk tonight.
So, Bob, you're killing yourself. And respectfully, gentlemen, you two are sitting on your asses, getting drunk and watching him do it.
But do you see he's like telling her to do that while he's sitting there with a drink? Do you see what I'm saying?
First thing I see is this tall, rail-thin, blonde woman walk in, and all I can think is, it's gonna be World War III.
I'm Tabitha.
Every gay's mortal enemy, a white woman.
This kind of feels like a neighborhood bar where you'd get to know your bartenders and get to know the owner and come and hang out, but it feels old.
Needs to be brought up to date.
A lot of queer old spaces look like this. This is kind of very similar to that first bar that I worked at. The pool tables should go for a dance floor. The gays need room to dance. That's a big one. It definitely does look like it has the feel of a dive bar, which I don't want to complain about because I personally love. They got the colorful lights behind the bar, I'll give them that. But where's the stage for the performers? I swear to God, if it's a little square box, I'm gonna be pissed. It looks like there's a lot of things to kind of like blend in with a straight bar feel. I do understand it a little bit though, because these older queer spaces, sometimes they didn't want to be too flashy because it would bring in attention that would be dangerous. The clientele was queer, but if you made it look too flashy or too gay, it would be more of a standout for like hate crimes. But the fact that they haven't updated it is a problem.
Patio?
Patio.
Okay. So when business was good, was
Patio
this
was packed.
a moneymaker?
It's packed.
It's phenomenal. I mean, it's huge, but kind of feels like you're sitting in the middle of a dump site.
It doesn't look nice. Look at that. Look at that. I love this space. I do. An outdoor patio is like one of the best things a bar could have, but you still got to keep it nice. Those plastic chairs, the floor looks disgusting. There's so much space and there's so much potential for what you could do there. The problem is no one's been upkeeping it, and that could be because of financial restrictions. But if that's the case, just take all that away. Yeah, places to sit are nice, but gays are, look, make it a separate dance floor. Put a DJ out there. Make it something that has a purpose. Does that make sense?
I don't want to sit in that. I'm sorry, I don't.
The patio used to be the place to be, but not so much anymore.
That's where they do the karaoke.
With the stage like that.
Well, we were getting ready to repair it.
And look at this.
Guests don't sit in those.
It's not that a guest is going to sit in it. I just look at it and then I think...
That's a safety issue. Someone could fall through that stage. I don't want to hear that we were gonna get rid of it. If it's still there looking like that, no, you weren't. If something looks like that and you didn't get rid of it the next day, that's the problem. Customers see that and think poorly of the space. How do you expect clientele to care about a space that you don't even seem to care about?
Obviously, you have all experienced the bathroom. Now it's my turn. God help me.
All I could think of was Tabitha has not had a rabies shot, nor a penicillin shot.
If there's a hole in the stalls, I'm gonna freak out. I wanna see what Tabitha has to say about a glory hole.
The wall's rotting. It's held up with a plank of plywood.
Well, yeah.
It always smells like a Clydesdale just dropped off a 2-footer. There's paint.
You don't want it to smell bad. People are doing a lot of things with their nose in those bathroom stalls. You gotta make sure it's nice. How do you expect people to be on their knees when the floors aren't clean? Like what?
Do you have ideas about bringing different people in?
We get shut down. every time.
We can all get really excited about it. We talk about it, and as soon as it hits the top, it's like a ceiling.
And it just automatically goes completely negative.
Or we just
This is what I'm talking about, where sometimes when you're stuck in your ways and you bring people in for their ideas and you don't take them, it's demoralizing. But these older generations come from a time where they really weren't allowed to speak. Their ideas were never taken seriously. And one thing companies and organizations are learning about these younger generations coming up is we want our opinions and our voices to be heard. And when they're not, we're gonna stop caring. We're gonna give you back what you're giving us. We're gonna match your energy. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
We also have people who will call us and go, can we have a party set up on the patio? And I said, well, you can, but...
we don't supply cake, balloons.
It's such a great space. You guys could be making more money.
See, that's a great idea. What they just said about the outdoor space, like there's all that space to do so much with, but they don't really know what to do with it. Make it a reservable party space. That's an amazing idea. It's gonna bring in more money, having people be able to rent it, making it into something exciting that you could market. But you gotta have the things to be able to do that. But if you're creating a space that's gonna bring in more money, that increases the budget to do those things. It will allow you to be able to afford to offer more. If you make more, you're gonna be able to spend more. But you gotta be able to have new ideas. You have to be able to be innovative and have a new way of thinking. Because they're not even asking for a lot. Balloons and a cake? That's like what, 50 bucks? The spending will end up being a fraction of what you'd make from that.
How do you guys feel when you see your owners getting hammered?
It's embarrassing.
Extremely.
Yeah, new customers that come in don't even know their owners. They just see a grumpy old man who doesn't move from his seat.
Or barking orders at the staff.
Barking orders at the staff. And they're like,
Or
oh, well.
ridiculing the staff.
See, that's a great point. Appearance matters. How you carry yourself matters. If you're gonna be a point of authority, you gotta walk the walk. You gotta look the part. Because if other clientele looks at you and thinks you're also clientele treating the staff this way, they're gonna think that they can also treat the staff this way. Does that make sense?
VIP was a lot of fun back when I first started going. Well, the first time I went, I sat in the parking lot and I was terrified to go in. And I was like, oh my God, gay people. And then the next time I actually went in, that's when I met Bob and Cal. And
that's so real. I know I keep going back to that first gay bar I worked at, but it's relevant because I was so afraid to be seen going into a gay space. It was all so new to me. Even with the Abbey, like these places, I would walk up and down the street like 10 times before getting the courage to like walk in. I don't know why that is. I don't know why it was so hard for me to just walk into these spaces that were meant for me. It's almost like I was trying to take the judgment out of my own head. Like, stop judging yourself for going into these spaces that are there to welcome you. It's like the opposite of being pushed out of the nest. Like, no, baby, come on in. Come on in, it's nice in here.
I feel like that's a lot of the reason why we're all still here.
This is our support team.
We take care of each other.
Yeah.
Growing up, being gay, you kind of feel out of place. And VIP was where I fell into place.
I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry. Sorry, I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry. Because those beginning bars I would work at in New York, the Abbey, were the places I made my initial queer family, my queer friends. That's where I found my home. That's where I found my community. Everyone really has your back because everyone's walked a similar life path. And when it's new to you, it's so refreshing because you were so used to having a mask on for so long, and it feels like you could finally take it off and breathe. I'm gonna get emotional in this episode. That's why you see people that work in these queer spaces that have been there for years. Those are referred to as lifers. And I get it. It becomes your home. It really does.
This is huge.
We have the largest patio in the Inland Empire.
I would kill to throw a party in a patio this size. We'd have to get rid of tables like that and chairs like that.
That's the rustic look. Come on.
It's vintage. But we can make vintage look good.
You got this guy coming in who's supposed to be the expert on queer bars saying the same thing that I've been saying here, sitting alone in my attic. This is a job I would love to do. Is anyone hiring? Is there anyone out there who can make this happen?
I mean, there's some creative things you can do.
So down here where I figured we'd all sit is where the drag shows go on, dancing.
Okay.
It's a square. It's a small square stage. How are you supposed to put on a show on that? How is Sasha Colby gonna death drop on that? This is something that is still prevalent in gay bars even today. The spaces have been becoming more drag queen friendly, especially with the rising popularity of drag over the past decade. But so many places that I not only go to, but work at, still have this. It's gonna limit what a performer can do. It's gonna hinder the show.
Let me ask you this, what do you do on social media?
Facebook.
Look, I actually went to your page, and it's a fan page. But something you guys also need to create is a profile. I create an event every week, week after week, and invite all these people. It's the #1 marketing resource out.
Have people hosting, have different themes, have different performers. You gotta market it. You gotta bring people in, they gotta know something's happening. You can't not tell people about something and expect them to want it.
I just went on Wednesday. I don't want to go again on Friday. So to come up with creative other ways to get people in here, even you build it around the drag shows. I know a leather bar in Silver Lake on a Monday night that packs in 300 to 400 people to watch RuPaul's.
Oh, okay, so like you have different ideas. I love that this expert is literally saying what I've been saying to do. It's validating. I love when I get validated, but it's because I have experience, okay? I'm more than the guy who put bread in his ass in Mykonos.
Oh, what are we doing?
That he'll follow through.
Okay. Wow, money's
10 more
down.
on Dennis.
You know what? I hope you do follow through with it. Because I want to see change.
It was really nice.
Do you see that? I love that. That's shady, that they're betting on whether or not he's gonna follow through. But it's also motivating. It's a kick in the ass. And that's what people that care about you are gonna do, even if it's in a funny way.
You know, it's really hard to see someone else's point of view sometimes. So we're going to do a little role playing. Bob, why don't you come behind the bar? And Lisa, why don't you sit in the throne? Because you get to be Bob. Get in that reserve seat.
I love this. I would kill to be able to do this. I like this. I like Tabitha's approach. It's a lot more fun and lighthearted than we've seen on Bar Rescue. She's doing fun activities that are gonna be a big teaching moment, because I have a sneaky suspicion that the owner's not gonna know what he's doing behind the bar, even though he's always yelling at his staff, expecting them to know, as we've seen in many bar owners in the past that we've screamed about, or at least I have. But these activities, I think, are a lot more beneficial than the stress tests that are over on Bar Rescue that just are there for entertainment in the form of demoralizing and dehumanizing and degrading people and just screaming at them for our entertainment. Does that make sense?
Bob talks down to us a lot. If I'm taking care of customers and Bob's wine glass is half empty, he'll pound his glass on the bar and say, "I'm ready whenever you are." And
do you see that? Do you see how you're expecting people to prioritize you over customers, and then you want to get mad about why they're not doing their job well enough when you are literally the thing getting in the way? Sometimes you gotta look at yourself in the mirror, even if you don't like what's looking back. Time to be accountable. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, accountability. Uh-oh.
If I was a customer and I saw you order a drink that way, it would either give me permission to speak to her like a piece of shit, or look at you and go, "You're an asshole."
It was
What did I say? Oh, I love this. I love this. That's literally exactly word for word what I just said earlier in this video. But how do you not know that as a boss? How? How is it so hard to know that you should treat your staff with respect so they'll respect you back?
When the people start coming in, I turn the TVs off and I put it to music.
No, you don't.
I put it to music.
Dennis used to be fun. Now he's a crotchety old cat lady who lives down the street who yells at you to get off her lawn.
Get his ass, bitch! Get it! You know who's gonna keep you in your chin check? A lesbian. Don't try to pose in front of lesbians. My girl, I see you, my beans. I got your ass. Every gay bar should have lesbians working there as well. First of all, because all queer spaces should represent all different parts of the queer community. Gay bars aren't just for gay men. There's all these other communities that want to see themselves represented in these places as well to feel welcome. And because all these different parts of the community bring something unique and special to the table.
We decided that we were gonna, break it down into like segments and theme nights and drink specials.
I can't believe the staff met last night to brainstorm ideas for this club. Their passion for this place is really impressive.
Because they want it to succeed. This is their home. These are their friends. This is their family. That's why these places are so special. And look at the lesbian getting shit done. Leave it to the lesbians. She wrote down a list. A list. The staff is doing more than anything the owners have done. That's what I'm talking about.
These guys helped you grow up within the community, and it was safe for you. And I understand all of that.
I get to come to work and I get to be with my friends. And I get to see Mom and Dad and Auntie Den Den.
I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry because I relate to this. It's so true, and it's heartwarming. This is so much more fun and enjoyable to watch than Bar Rescue so far. And I'm sure a lot of you watching this can say the same thing about your local queer spaces. If you have a favorite local queer space, please shout it out in the comments below to give it some visibility. Let me use this channel for some good for once. And tell me why you love that space. Like, what makes it so special?
Without you, they have no jobs. And I know you know that, but they also don't have a family.
Yeah, I know.
We don't want to bring...
This is like a mothering energy. This is so different than John Taffer in like a really good way. Am I right?
You know what? You gotta love a stereotype. Go for it.
It's a lesbian with construction equipment.
Now she's in her element. They're literally doing demolition to make the bar better. This is like the third uplifting activity that have been in this episode. Do you see how this is so much more beneficial for people to learn than just screaming at them for entertainment? This is a similar structure, but the message is so much better, and it's actually gonna help this bar 10 times more than the other way.
Here we go.
Come on in.
Oh my God. Holy God.
So, what do you think?
I love it.
It looks amazing. They put bigger tables, but like, even though they're bigger, there's less of them, so like it still takes up less space. There's not so much clutter. There's a little bit of paint jobs. There's like fresh new stools. There's more marketing on the walls. There's more of those light fixtures. It looks so much better. It looks so much better. I'm so happy.
The club definitely matches all the way throughout now instead of looking like it was just slapped together with spit and a prayer.
Do you see what I mean by like small things that have been enhanced, like small pops of color, wallpaper, paint jobs like that? Like, it's amazing. These little things make such a big impact. You don't have to go above and beyond, okay? I'm not gonna tell you to do all the stereotypical things you'd think that someone would say to make a gay bar more gay. It doesn't have to be more gay, but it has to look more warm, more inviting, more modern. You gotta bring it into the current age.
This is such a beautiful area, and I wanted to do something that would bring in revenue and make it something really special because it is so unique. It's got some color, it's got some love, it's got some life. You can see these beautiful new lamps up here.
Look, those lamps are the best idea. That small addition, that small change to that area made such a big difference. It's little things like that. You don't have to overwhelm yourself thinking you have to do so much that you end up doing nothing. Little changes like that make the world of difference.
I really do believe we're going to give it a hell of a try.
Oh my goodness, my name is Mayhem Miller. Welcome to our re-grand opening here at the VIP.
Shut the fuck up, Mayhem! The queen of the party has arrived, bitch! I used to work with Mayhem every Saturday at the Abbey. They would always host brunch, which was my shift at the bar. I gotta text her. I'm DMing her right now. She's like, oh my God, that was so long ago. I can't wait to hear your commentary. I am screaming. That's crazy. That's crazy. I'm seeing people that I work with in these episodes. Oh my God. My words are colliding. I'm finding my family in places I didn't know I would. Oh my God, I love this. This is so refreshing. Mayhem and Vicky Vox were the first drag queens that accepted me in at the Abbey. Like, they were like the performers that were always there during my shift and made me feel so at home, and were like part of my family. They are part of my family. They always will be. Oh my God. She's Tabitha, and she does it so well. Oh my God, I'm sorry, I'm getting a little emotional because my last night at the Abbey, before I left LA, I was in the booth with Reese, Mayhem, Morgan. We were sitting there talking, and it was just like, I'm getting homesick, even though I'm in my original home. Like, I'm sorry.
And for the next week, you're going to play by my rules. And at the end of the week, some of you may still be working here, and some of you may not.
Yes! She walked up and she gave her a tip. Tabitha, my girl, you are part of the community. I can tell. You're doing everything amazing. This is... Oh my God, this is amazing. This is such amazing representation. I'm so happy that this exists. I can't believe I've never seen this before. This was so heartwarming. I'm so glad I got to do this. What do you guys think? Did you enjoy this episode? Did you enjoy it more or less than Bar Rescue? Let me know in the comments. Who's better, Tabitha or John Taffer? Again, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it and subscribe for future ones. I put them out weekly. And if that's all, guys, thank you so much for watching. As always, I'm MikeMGTV, and you are fucking welcome. Goodbye.
scheme of